Homeownership isn't for everyone, and if you're feeling pressured to buy because of the American dream, this video might save you from making a very expensive mistake. Hi you guys, welcome back for another video. For those of you who are new here, my name is London. For those of you all who are tuning in again and have been supporting me, thank you so much. I appreciate and I love you guys more than you guys actually know. Homeownership isn't for everyone, and if you're feeling pressured to buy your first home, I want you to know that you don't have to do it just because everyone else is. Being a homeowner isn't the only measure to being successful in life. Something that's so important to remember is that buying a home is a huge personal and financial commitment. Not only is it a financial purchase, but this purchase is also a personal commitment that you have to make. And the worst thing that you can do is rush into it and be unprepared. And that's why I'm here to help you with this video. This video, we're gonna be going over the 8 steps to homeownership. We'll have to do another video another time as to why homeownership is not for everyone and why it may not be the smartest decision for you. So with that being said, if homeownership is something that you truly want, stay tuned. If homeownership is something you truly want and you're ready to build that stability, equity, and long-term wealth, the key is doing it the right way with the right person. Because listen, like truth be told, everyone can buy a house. Well, most people can purchase a home. Most first-time home buyers, they don't fail because they can't buy the house because of finances, because they can't find the right house. The reason why most first-time home buyers fail is because nobody ever taught them the steps how to do it properly. So in today's video, I'm breaking down the 8 steps to homeownership. These steps are going to take you from not just thinking about a house, but actually getting your keys and purchasing your home. Whether you're planning to purchase a house this year, next year, or just want to know the steps to purchase a home, this video is for you. I'm going to be giving you guys the exact steps you need to know. So let's jump right into it and let's go over the 8 steps to homeownership. Usually I don't share this with anyone, but I'm sharing it with you all because I feel like knowledge is power and I don't need to gatekeep. This is something that I made for all of my clients. When we do our buyer consultation, I go over this 8 step to homeownership. I have a little roadmap. Here's a photo of the roadmap. If you guys want me to email this to you, type homeowner in the comments and I'll send this over to you. By the end of this video, you'll be prepared to start your homeownership journey and get your keys at the closing table. The first step to homeownership is to meet with me, or if you're not meeting with me and you're not purchasing in the state of Texas, Washington, D.C., or Maryland, then you're going to find an agent. But once you find an agent, that first step is going to have a buyer consultation. That buyer consultation should always be complimentary, you all. If an agent is charging you all for a buyer consultation, then you may need to rethink the agent that you're working with and really decide if that agent is the best fit for you. When I do my buyer consultations pre-COVID, I like to do them in person. We'll go grab a bite to eat. We'll go grab coffee or tea. Currently, a lot of my buyer consultations are not in person because I'm handling a huge relocation with my brokerage. So all of my buyers right now are relocation. But if it's someone who's already here in Houston, I like to dine, what I call dine and chat. So we'll initially meet in person at somewhere that's convenient for you. And then we're going to go over kind of what you're looking for in a home. We'll also talk about the type of style of home that you're looking for, the price point that you want to be within, and then the location. The location is key. Sometimes people don't know exactly where they'd like to purchase a home. Knowing your price point will help us narrow that down, as well as the number of bedroom, bathrooms. Maybe you want to be in a certain school district. Us as agents, we cannot guarantee a certain school, but we can look on the MLS and it'll let us know if a school is zoned to that school district. Do keep in mind that sometimes these school district zones do change and schools are rezoned, but those are kind of some things that we're going to be chatting over. So that's step 1. Step 1 is buyer consultation. Step 2 is going to be getting pre-approved for your loan. So after we have our buyer consultations, I will connect you with a lender if you don't already have one. And I like to connect my buyers with at least 2 to 3 lenders. That way they can see which lender offers the best programs or which lender's personality is a better fit or a better match for you. So in order to get pre-approved, some of the things that you're going to need are you're going to need to have your pay stubs, your W-2s, and your bank statements. Knowing what you can afford, knowing your purchase power is critical in purchasing a home. I don't take clients out on house tours until I've received that pre-approval letter. It doesn't have to be a verified approval, but I do need to have a pre-approval letter. And if you're going to be working with a lender of your choice, I like to speak with the lender, build that rapport, build that trust, and just make sure that you're all set and ready to be able to purchase. And the reason why I do this is because one of the worst things that can happen is we can go out looking at homes. You'll see a home that you fall in love with. We go to submit an offer, or we go to speak to your lender so that we can submit an offer, and then you find out that you're not even qualified to purchase that home as far as the home loan. Also with the pre-approval, you'll find out if you're going to be doing a conventional loan, an FHA loan, there's USDA loans, there's VA loans, there's a lot of different loan types. So that's why it's really, really essential that after our buyer consultation, the next step, again, step 2, is that pre-approval process. Step 3 is where it gets really exciting. Step 3 is the home search. What I'll do is I'll set you up in the portal in our MLS, and I will send you homes based on the search criteria that you and I discussed. And you'll be able to select homes, you'll be able to favorite them, and then that will notify me that these are the homes that you want to go out and look at in person. This is like my second to favorite. Of course, my first favorite is giving my clients their keys at closing table, but going out looking at homes is so much fun. I like to make it an exciting experience for my clients. If my clients have time, I like to go grab a bite to eat while we're looking at homes, but it's just really exciting knowing that you're one step closer to getting your keys at the closing table. Step 4 is writing an offer and negotiating that offer. So after we've gone out on step 3, which was looking at homes, step 4 again is to submit your offer on the home that you have selected. So in that offer, before we submit the offer, it's important for me to build rapport with the listing agent. So I like to call the listing agent, introduce myself, see if they have any other offers in hand, see why the seller is selling. The reason why I like to ask listing agents that is because it lets us know how motivated the seller is and how much wiggle room we may have to negotiate. Another thing that will allow us to know how much wiggle room we have to negotiate is to see the market. So I always run comps prior to submitting an offer. If it's a multiple offer situation, we need to offer over asking or like have an escalation clause, then absolutely. But I'm always going to run comps to see what previous homes have sold for within the vicinity of our subject property. I'll be the one who is writing the offer, sending you the offer to sign. In the offer, we will have all of our contingencies, inspection contingency, appraisal contingency, closing date, how quickly we can close on the home, loan type will be in there. And it's just really important to make sure that we're submitting a clean offer and making sure that our offer aligns with the market. So again, that's why I mentioned that running comps is really, really crucial in us submitting an offer. I always review those comps with my clients before we submit the offer to make sure that we aren't like lowballing it and wasting our time, wasting the seller's time, or getting your hopes up. Step 5 is the negotiation and contract. So we've submitted our offer. The seller may accept our offer, they may decline our offer, or the seller may counter our offer. This is where negotiations come in part. Sometimes the sellers will counter the asking price. They will counter the inspection period, which is known as the option period here in Texas. So what that option period does is that gives you, the buyer, time to do your due diligence and have your inspection, and then you can negotiate with your seller for any repairs or any concessions that you may want in lieu of that inspection. Or it allows you to say, you know what, some of the things listed on this inspection report, there's just too many deficiencies in the home. I'm not comfortable with moving forward. So rather than losing your earnest money deposit, which is 1% of the purchase price of the home, you would lose your option fee, which is anywhere between $250 to $500 or $750 based on the number of days that you have that option period. The most common option period number of days in this market is about 5 to 7 days. Once we've completed step 5, which is negotiating the contract back and forth with the listing agent and myself, the buyer agent, Once we've concluded that and we've agreed to terms and we have a ratified contract, we will then open up escrow with the title company. Step 6 is opening up escrow. So you're going to deliver your earnest money deposit to the title company. The title company will send over a secure link for you to do that, or give you instructions on how to give your earnest money deposit. Again, the earnest money deposit is 1% of the purchase price of the home. And then here in Texas, you also have an option fee, which I mentioned for step 5. You're going to be giving your option fee money to the title company as well. Once we open escrow, that means that we have a fully executed contract. So that's step 6. Again, step 6 is you're opening up escrow. You and the seller have agreed to the terms of the contract and all parties have signed. From this point on, once we open up escrow, the house is effectively on hold for you until closing. Step 7 will be the final detail. So we've opened up escrow with the title company, you've given your earnest money deposit, you've deposited your option fee, and now you're starting to go through underwriting with your loan officer. Listen, in this step, this is step 7 again, final details. In this step, you want to make sure not to make any major purchases. Do not take out a loan for furniture because you're so excited. Don't go purchase a car. Don't go buy expensive bags. Like, just put your life on hold and don't spend any money during step 7, which are the final details, because what can happen is that if you take out any loans and you have any additional debt than the lender accounted for, that can stop you purchasing a home because your debt to income ratio is higher and you may no longer qualify for that specific home. So again, in step 7, this is all of the final details. The lender has submitted all of your docs, everything to underwriting. They're going to get the appraisal back. They're going to make sure that the title is clear. That's what the title company is going to do. Once they've done all of those things and you have the final approval and you're clear to close, that's when it's so exciting and you will be going to the closing table. In between step 7, which was final details, and step 8, which is the final step, closing, you are going to be preparing for closing. You will be finalizing your loan, reviewing documents, and I manage the entire process from start to finish for you. In this step, like say for instance, the appraisal comes back and the appraised value is less than the contracted value, then that's when we have to sometimes go back to the seller and kind of renegotiate things such as the purchase price or some concessions. And you as the buyer have to make the decision if you want to move forward with the house based on the house being appraised under value. I don't see this too often, and that's why it's really critical to run comps on a home to make sure that we didn't submit an offer too high. And some loan types don't even allow you to proceed to closing if the appraised value is over the contracted price. We've gone from step 1 all the way to step 8. You've received your clear to close from the lender. The lender will let you know the final cash to close amount that you need to bring to the title company for closing. I will schedule closing. I'll facilitate that with the closing company based on what's convenient for you. And I'll send you out a calendar invite letting you know its closing date, the address of the title company, and the time that closing is at. And then you will transfer the funds to the title company so that we can move forward with getting funded. You'll sign all of your documents. So for closing, this is the transfer of funds and ownership. A title company or an attorney typically acts as an independent third party to facilitate the closing. This is the part that brings me so much joy and is so exciting for all of my clients, is getting to that closing table, having closing day, and then getting your keys to your home. In Washington, D.C. and Maryland, you don't have to wait for the file to fund to get your keys. But here in Houston, Texas, you do have to wait for the file to fund in order for me to give you the keys to your new home. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and this video was resourceful. If you guys have any questions about homeownership, or if you're a first-time home buyer who's considering purchasing a home, let me know in the comments. Again, if you want a copy of my roadmap, 8 steps to homeownership, just comment homeownership and I'll find a way to get it to you. I'm like, I don't think that you want to put your email address in the comments, but we'll figure out a way. I can put my Calendly, and that way I'll have your email address and I can send you over this 8 steps to homeownership roadmap. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I hope that you guys enjoyed. Have a blessed day.